Hello, everyone, and welcome to the semi-finals of the Link's Awakening DX 100% No One War Battlegrounds tournament. I stuttered quite a few times through there, but hey, we're here. With me today, I have our two currently wonderful commentators. Say hello.
Hello, I'm back from ZSR3. I'm very sorry you have to put up with me again. I am Phantom Man. My compatriot Zintrothan is currently getting water.
And there's one more quick thing I need to do. I'll be right
back. Okay.
So you were saying, Void?
I was going to say you got promoted.
I just moved channels. I went to a different terminal.
I mean, technically, I would count this as a promotion. You technically went up in channel.
I can't be promoted any more than tournament organizer.
Wait, I swear I said 100%.
You did say 100%.
Spice, don't fuck with me, man.
You're losing it at this point.
I read the title in the wrong order and I had to just go with it, okay?
The countdown in SRL hasn't even started yet and we're off the rails.
Okay, now they've started. Okay.
In SRL, not on stream. That's important.
Wait, what? Hang on, wait.
Like, it hasn't started on the restream.
No, wait. The timer's going on stream. Wait.
Oh, God.
What the fuck did I do?
Burn it down, restart.
This is interesting.
Right.
No.
So
yeah,
something's going on here.
No. Yeah, okay. We're just going with this.
I'm going to refresh, because they've got like a 20-second desync on my screen.
Oh, fuck, of course I forgot the fucking screen title. Sorry. I had to do this. I had to do this in like 10 minutes after I just came back home. So my apologies for the mistakes.
I mean, this just reaffirms one thing that I know, and that's that if ZSR staff is swearing like this on stream, we're carte blanche to swear whatever we want to.
I am back and ready to go.
Okay, whoever told you that you couldn't swear like a sailor on stream?
Honor-bound rules of commentary from being on other channels.
Nah, we don't give a shit.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Are you ready to be a sailor's intro?
Sure am.
Oh, who picks up a bunch of rupees on the beach? These two numbskulls.
SeysEy is already ahead.
SeysEy's burning ahead.
10 rupees right off the bat.
Oh my god, disgusting.
Turns out that is actually slower to go up and around. I timed it. It's fast just to cut through the bushes through the side. There we go. Okay, Xander's got his 10. He in the shop. No, we're stealing the shovel here, because you know, who has time to farm 200 rupees? And then we're gonna die because we have to. Then we're gonna quote unquote buy 10 bombs by what happens is you get the bombs before the rupees disappear, before you lose your rupees. So you can actually just interrupt the rupees counting down, and you keep all the rupees. But you still get the bombs.
So, is it just me, or does SeysEy's stream look really whitewashed?
I think it usually looks like that. It's usually quite a bit brighter. Xander's is always a little bit darker.
It's interesting. I noticed it with the trendy game.
Like, two extremes in the community. It's like side by side.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at all of the lovely tabs that I still have open because I was in the other commentary thing.
Alright,
Xander's got
they say just did a bomb trigger. And a bomb trigger is when you essentially have 2 bombs on the screen at the same time. The game is not supposed to do that, and so it just freaks out. And since we're swearing, it freaks the fuck out and allows us to just trigger cutscenes and grab heart pieces and stuff. And we're going to be heavily abusing that throughout the run.
Yeah, bombs are magic in this game. I love it.
So, oh wow, yeah, Xander getting the quick one there. So you see that Terran just immediately, like, okay, he just appears. That raccoon is actually Terran, and you're supposed to sprinkle powder on him, but we don't have time for that, so we just do a bomb trigger.
No, because if we sprinkle powder on him, then he does like this whole song and dance routine where he bounces around the screen and then he explodes in a puff of magic.
Xander's gonna make it work. Xander really wants to make it work.
No, he doesn't.
He gives it 2.
Two shots.
I say give it 1 and no more.
Yeah. Xander, of course, being a little bit more committed to pit walk, did the 2. Alright, now here we go. Dungeon 1. Ooh. So it begins. SeysEy is going to start falling into pits too.
Did the main molder get in the way? Because that thing is a little asshole.
Yeah. I think he just fell into the top end of the pit while he was just walking over to the bottom of the wall.
That happens.
Always. As long as he doesn't fall in Maldorm's pit, it's fine. We should mention, SeysEy got a PB, like, what, half an hour ago?
Pretty much, yeah. That time you see, that 117.43, that is the PB he just got.
That is fresh. Like, straight out of the oven.
You could still smell it.
Alright. SeysEy not getting a bad hard head beetle. Or hard hat beetle, is that what they're called?
I think so.
I think I always just called it beetles.
I wonder if either of them are going to pick up the ferry. I imagine Xander will. I can see SeysEy skipping it. But I think...
if we're lucky, neither of them will, and they'll both die.
Sagas is someone who would go with 1.
It's because Sagas believes in himself. And SeysEy's getting the ferry.
Moldarm can just be a serious troll. And
If
like,
you-
if you're worth RNG, and like no matter how much you try to dodge him, he'll somehow still hit you. Just like
SeysEy taking some hits, he would have died if he didn't get that ferry.
besides, it's kind of faster to take hits. The invulnerability frames allow you to reach his tail more easily. So, and the fairy like barely loses any time. It loses like half a second.
And there we go. Neither player dying or falling in the pit.
Xander had a PB.
Very
SeysEy
nice.
not even close.
He must have had a really
As
good
you
early.
can see, both of their PBs are literally almost 2 minutes apart.
But I was looking earlier. SeysEy's actually got the second best time overall for the tournament. With a 1:17.53 or something like that? 54?
Yep, he's the only other player with a 117 right now. And just in the last like 3 weeks or so, he has lowered his PB by a minute.
He's going crazy. I swear.
And of course he had to do that like right before I got my PB, which finally beat his previous one.
Yeah, Xander's been
So I'm-
pretty consistent with his runs being like 119s-ish. Oh, except for the last run in bracket where he ran on English against Glenn, I guess.
Yeah.
And where he actively tried
And
to
went-
throw but failed.
And went through the rap game and whatnot.
Damage
Nice
boost off
damage.
that mountain. I like it.
We skipped that heart piece because it's faster to get it on the way back. And we also need to get the pictures. Did you go into the requirements at all already?
No.
Alright, so 100% does not refer to literally 100% of every single thing in the game. It just means 100% of permanent inventory items. Or
upgrades.
permanent inventory things. So you have to get all the pictures, all the heart pieces, all the heart containers, and all of the items and all of the upgrades to all of the items. Things that are temporary, like Tracy's potion or the seashells and whatnot, you don't have to get those or all of those. We have to get 20 seashells because that's the only way to get the upgrade to the sword. But we don't have to get all 26 seashells in the game. We just need 20.
Alright, down goes King Moblin. Good fight for SeysEy. Xander,
What happened?
getting him to charge the wrong way. I think he expected one more.
I always just get ready after one arrow.
Let's get ready before that.
Nice balance.
Alright,
Well,
D2.
getting those torches lit pretty damn fast. And that Stolthos being a bit of a troll. He can just like go anywhere he wants, and sometimes he just goes where you cannot spin slash him. At least not easily.
I don't think I've ever had any real problems with him jumping away from me.
Well, he doesn't jump, he just moves away.
I mean, they both walk towards you at the beginning of the room. It's like consistent.
No. Well,
I have never seen him walk.
yeah,
towards
but
me.
then it depends how long it takes for one of them to start moving away seems to be random. Tight jumps there. D2 is pretty vanilla. There's like pretty much no fancy tricks aside from Ghost Skip, and that's not even that fancy.
It's just shoving the enemies off the screen.
Yeah.
Because we have the bow and arrow, though, that's makes some things really quick.
Yeah. See, this is Ghost Skip here on SeysEy's screen, so he's just shooting the ghosts off the screen. Turns out you don't have to light the torches, you just need to get them off the screen. That's what triggers the chest. And there's a couple ways that speedrunners do it. They can also do it with sword, where they slash, and for whatever reason, if you slash, they spawn on the other side of the screen and move away from you. And right off the screen. It's a lot slower, though.
Oh, SeysEy missing a spin slash there, losing a bit of time.
In other categories, by here we'd actually have already left D2 because D2 gets split in half. But because it's Hundo and we need pictures, we have to drop off Bow Wow, and the only way to drop off Bow Wow is to complete D2. So we just do it all in full. And D2 has mainly its enemy RNG that can make you lose time. Like those Pole's Voice, the rabbit things. They kind of bounce kind of randomly, and it's sometimes hard to predict where they're gonna go and get a good shot at them. But you have to throw a pot on them to kill them. But you can also bomb arrow them, but that is bomb arrow and equip. Equips are slow, they're 2 seconds total, at least 2 seconds to do an equip. So we try to do as few of them as possible. We all wish that this was the colorless Link's Awakening, which has significantly faster menuing. But that's not the case. Xander's saving some time.
Very nice, very nice.
So it's pretty close so far still.
Yeah, not too much separating them, but then again, as we saw in the race literally before this, none of this really matters until we get to D5.
Yeah. D5 is and beyond basically is where things kind of can go downhill pretty quickly because there are. Well, I mean,
there are 3 specific points that the game can just screw you. It's early rooster skip, early hook shot, and boom the surf.
Xander going for the swag rock. Every corner, every top right corner in the forest is a rock for some reason.
Is it just top right? I thought it was top left too.
Top right. I mean, you'll only see them in the left side of the forest, but you know, it's the top right corners.
Because I could swear that you could pick up the one below log cave, but maybe I'm not.
He's probably gonna pick it on the way back, but we'll see. So we need to get this seashell down here, and seashell rooting is very picky in the early stages, just because we're going to be getting 2 bonus seashells from the seashell mansion, and you have to have exactly 5 and exactly 10 to get this bonus seashell from them. So we have to get that seashell there, and also because that later on when we get back to that point, we don't have the shovel to pick up the seashell. Because we're going to be trading it in to get the boomerang.
So now we're going to set our saving quit point right here. At this phone booth.
You're probably seeing players are pretty often saving and quitting. And that's because we're doing a save and quit warp, basically. You just save and quit and you end up back at the last point. That your last save point that was set, and these are pretty much like entrances to like a telephone booth or a dungeon, but not to anything that is a 2D section. A 2D section does not count. That allows us to actually do a save and quit in the Seashell Mansion to go back to that phone booth. And there's the dick pic. For anyone who doesn't know, that character's name is Richard.
Yes, Richard from For Whom the
From the castle you never see except for the front gate. Because of this trick on SeysEy's screen. This trick skips so much of the game. It's crazy how much time it saves. Because you have to do like a whole trading sequence to get the stick, to get to Canela Castle, get 5 leaves, and finally bring those leaves into Richard, who lets you through this cave. Instead, we're going to go through the cave backwards. No, instead we do pit buffering, so you just not saving quit, you press start on the frame that you would fall into a pit, and that kind of nudges your character down a little bit into the bottom bar, like the menu, not the menu, but like where your rupees and stuff are. It's not actually out of bounds. All you do is just hold down and you transition, and you just jump all the way over to the leaves to the nearest open space. And here's a Jesus jump. Same idea. You want to press start on the same frame that you would fall into water, and that allows you to jump off of the water so you just buffer a jump out of the pause. And then when you fall into the water, all you need to do is just open your save and quit menu and buffer a jump out of that. And this is D3. D3, you're gonna see the players kill a lot of enemies, even ones that aren't actually required to be killed to advance through the dungeon. This is because they're going to get a thing called Piece of Power, and they need 30 kills without doing any saving or quitting. And this is the longest stretch in the game where we have no saving quits and enough enemies to kill. And a lot of that has to do with that, yeah, we actually do have to kill a lot of enemies to advance, but there's some extra enemies on the way that we can kill to help out with it. Like those Zols, you have to kill all each one of those Zols and the gels count as a kill toward this count. But anytime an acorn drops, it does not count. And here's the Dongo skip. We didn't explain super jumps, I think. If you're clipped, if you're clipped into a wall and then you do a couple inputs, like with a sword or something, you jump into the wall while clipped, and then you use the sword to jump away from the wall. You trick the game into thinking you're on a ledge.
Because all the walls in dungeons and underground sections are made out of ledges. They're reusing resources.
If you were able to get on top of the wall and jump off, it would act like a ledge. So they trick the game into thinking you're on a ledge, and then you just change your direction to face away from the wall, and then you just jump off this.
You fall over things.
You can jump up to 2 squares away, 2 tiles away, and it allows you to skip a significant portion of dungeons. In that case, what you're seeing there is a sword out super jump. So the sword out allows you to already be facing away from the wall. But the reason they want to do a sword out there in that case is because they want to charge their sword so they can do a spin slash during super jump, which clinks them off the Dodongo and over the wall to their right.
And we just saw SeysEy finish Slime Mine, and Xander's starting it now. Should be clean fights for both of them.
Xander's playing quite consistently.
And he's catching back up to his PB time. He's only a second off of it now.
Yeah, pretty much. Looks like he's comparing to average there, I guess. Or no, he's comparing to SeysEy. For some reason on the on live split, it like seems to show alternating split.
Weird. Did Xander just pause for a little while for you two?
I didn't notice. Earlier we opened up this cave with a bomb arrow because we had to equip bomb arrows anyway to blow up that statue on the way to D3. And that's just because we need to enter this cave to get a heart piece. This cave goes by a whole bunch of various names. Nobody can really agree on one.
It's the cave that has the wall that nobody knows about.
Yeah, it's like Heart Piece Cave. I call it Spark Cave because
it's Spark Cave.
Some people call it
really the only place where we run the sparks.
I think some people call it like Dash Cave or something. I think there was something about dashing.
We dash in almost every cave.
Yeah, yeah, that's why that one doesn't really work as well.
It's like Obstacle Skip Cave. That's Dash Cave.
Obstacle Skip Cave is Swag Cave now because there's like 2 things of swag you can do in it. There used to just be one, which was Obstacle Skip, and we'll get to Obstacle Skip when we get there. So now this is the bonus, the 11th seashell, which is the bonus for getting 10.
Really cheapskates with those rewards, aren't they?
Yeah! It's like, hey, you have a lot of seashells, I'll just give you another.
You look
you think
good.
Another
Like, here's some more seashells.
Imagine if that's what it was. It was like 20 seashells, you get a heart piece, and then at 26, that's when you get the sword. That would make things a lot more interesting.
Imagine if they remade this game and did something like that.
Yeah, imagine if they added like a whole bunch of seashells to up the whole of 50.
And then they used those seashell rewards to give you pieces of dungeons that you could make dungeons out of in some sort of dungeon creator.
Yeah, that like is done separately from the game and thus making the 100% category kind of terrible.
Of course, none of this actually happened because this is all just a dream, right?
Yeah. Oh, Xander getting the quick buffer there.
Very nice.
Perfect. earlier we saw Terran buy a honeycomb, and we were able to give him the stick. That's because we did Villa Skip, and as soon as you finish D3, the game just assumes you have the stick because you have to have the stick to get to D3, right? That's the way to get to Candlelit Castle. But we skipped all of that, so the game just assumes and allows us to skip half a training sequence. Oh, I think you just go into another layer.
Yeah, you just go one layer deeper it's like Inception. There's layers to dreams. So if you go to sleep right now, you'll end up in For Whom the Frog Bell Tolls. If you go to sleep in For Whom the Frog Bell Tolls, you'll end up in Baba Is You.
We just saw them actually go to sleep in a dream. We get an ocarina, which they somehow took out from the dream. Now explain how that one worked. Oh, it's because this is all a dream, and physics don't matter.
Somebody told me that there was a trap door in the bed, but I'm not buying that.
Fishing is the best part of the game, by the way. Just saying.
Like most games, Persona games, best part is fishing, not the emotional stories. Stardew Valley, fishing. Everyone loves rare fish that just completely negate your ability to catch them. Red Dead, fishing. Fishing makes you money. Alright. Completely off topic. The darts in Persona 5 Royal are fantastic. No joke.
This seashell we couldn't get earlier, even though we were finding one, just because we need to dash into the tree and we didn't have boots. And now we're off to go see Marin, go on a date, and hopefully not talk about RNG sequels. Oh wait, I said it.
Alright, looks like I'm doing solo commentary from now on. Thank you, Senator.
Well, there's only one race after this anyway.
No, I mean you're getting out right now. Goodbye! Open up the trapdoor underneath you. And then you just respawn in your...
Yeah.
That's how pits work.
And I have half a heart less.
Oh no, if you had half a heart less in reality, imagine you die immediately. Let's take something else. Let's half kidneys.
Yeah, in reality, if you fall down a pit, you lose a whole heart, and you only have one heart in reality. So yeah, falling down a pit is just, you're done.
Unless, what if they're talking about like your emotional heart? So you just find that you care about things half as much. You just don't have the heart for it.
Hey. So we got Marin, and now we need to get some pictures. Literally, the only reason half of the game is just side quests to get pictures. And like some of these picture side quests are really long.
Like a certain one with the ghosts.
Yeah, the ghost that everyone hates and will just kind of randomly talk to you really slowly. And you can't do anything about it except get off. Like you have to be on a screen a certain amount of time, but after that, he can talk to you like anytime. And he's like two text boxes, and he's so small. And there's 2 screens that it can happen on, depending on how fast you do them, as I mentioned.
Well, Void, if I've learned anything from watching and playing It'll Do, you can farm hearts, and they taste pretty good.
So we just got cock-blocked in front of the cockpick by the world's worst dad.
Well, he's just looking out for his daughter.
Yeah, I know, but like,
stranger.
Everyone knows a dad like this. At least one dad. Who just, like, maybe, yeah, he's looking out, and he's not like overly protective, but he's just enough to be annoying.
He's the one standing at the doorway, just staring at the guys. You guys are driving off.
Yep.
He waves. He's just staring daggers into the boyfriend.
He's the one who jokes around about having a shotgun.
But then he actually...
And then he actually does.
It's like Ron Swanson if Ron Swanson had a sense of humor.
Alright, so we have Marin, and we could talk to the Walrus, but, you know, bomb triggers are still faster. For a couple reasons. There's less text, but also because the cutscene ends once Marin is off the screen, and she leaves the screen sooner if she's further to the left of the screen. And there's my second favorite bomb trigger, just because he gets that heart piece from across the cave. You'll see my favorite before D7.
What, you mean that Demolition isn't your favorite bomb trigger?
Well, that's my favorite series of bomb triggers.
Hmm.
And it's probably the funniest bomb trigger. Just because it breaks the dungeon. I mean, the dungeon was already broken to begin with. That's why we can even do bomb triggers in the first place. Again, we will get to that when we get to D7.
Soon. We're spoiling things for you, chat. Unless you've been
We're
following the
foreshadowing. Stick around and you'll see what we're talking about.
And if you have been following the tournament, hey, thanks for watching. You probably heard us talk about these exact same things, what, 8, 24, 26 times?
Yeah, and for a few of the runs, we just have not been talking about the game at all. We've just been talking about memes and massive mistakes that certain really good players of this game have made.
Alright, I don't like what you're insinuating there. I'll have you know, he's doing the salty run back right now.
Now, just remember, I'm out of the tournament too, because of dumb mistakes.
My only dumb mistake was getting into the tournament while I should have been running it.
Yeah, you can't lose the tournament if you're not in it, right?
Alpha really had the big brain play. Instead, he has to go do comms for Mystery Funhouse. Alright, so when we were talking about getting all the inventory stuff for 100%, the 3 songs that we can get for the Ocarina are all required. So we have to get the Ballad of the Windfish right here. We have to go get Mambo's Mambo. And we have to go get the Frog Song of Soul.
I mean, that's even better.
Are we gonna have a music fight again?
Of course. But I still agree with you that Telltale Heights, or Telltale Mountains, is the best song.
The fact that I know that you're a musician now makes me all the more disappointed that you think that Frog Song of Soul is a good song.
Who said it was a good song? It's the
Just keep
best
saying
song.
It's the best song. That implies that all the other songs are worse than it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a masochist? Is that why you like it?
I just like dissonance. It depends how you look at it. I mean, there are many composers who wrote music that some people would call much worse.
Like, I'm not saying the song can't be improved. I'm just saying, out of the 3 songs that are listed, it's not the best. None of them are the best. They're all about equal in my eyes.
Okay, well, then we can all have our opinion. And, you know, one of them is always right?
Yeah.
By the way, there's a teaser to my favorite heart piece about Bomb Trigger. And there was Obstacle Skip. That saves a quarter of a second.
Always worth it every single time.
Most players are doing 2 different routes here now. So there's a couple ways you can get the bird key. You can get it now on the way to D4 by doing what is called early rooster skip, or you can just do normal rooster skip, where you would use a hook shot, and we'll explain that when we do it. SeysEy gets to it. SeysEy is doing normal rooster skip, and he does it on the way to D7.
Yeah, as opposed to Xander, who will be going for it right now.
By him not entering that cave, he'll be entering a different cave. Again,
The rooster cave.
As we save and quit back to those caves.
Yes.
So SeysEy is just going to save and quit right to this cave right by D4. And he appears to be way more ahead than he is. I mean, he is ahead, but he's not as far ahead as he seems. So we'll get a really good idea of exactly how far apart each player is once SeysEy has done Rooster Skip.
Yeah, around enter D7 is when we'll have a solid time.
We got charged bus sword from both players. That is pretty awesome.
It's still not the pickaxe, which makes me kind of sad.
This is early Rooster Skip. We entered this cave, and we're just going to jump over some pits. And Xander is going to round this corner here and buffer... he's going to equip Shovel in this case. And buffer maps until he's on a specific pixel, and he's just going to keep doing start buffers until he hears the falling sounds. The same idea as Villa Skip. He wants to pause until he hears himself fall into the pit. And then he's going to start charging boots. Oh, he misses the jump. He got the bad pixel. The harder one. It's faster but harder. You can, while your boots are charging the dash, you can actually use the shovel, and that holds your dash in place. Oh, he falls again. This is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, he's for sure not ahead now. This trick is honest to god awful.
I still like it more than regular Rooster Skip. I hate regular Rooster Skip. What? Okay, I guess sometimes the map buffer just does not open, and I don't know why. He golded D4. Beautiful. Oh, damn, he is having a lot of trouble with this. Oh, is he forfeit?
And now we can say that yes, Xander has in fact quit from the race.
Well... Damn.
It's really just an awful trick. SeysEy has had multiple people forfeit against him.
Yeah.
It's not you, SeysEy, it's the game, we promise.
It really is the game. Like, in Hundo is taxing just because it's such a long category. And to do it, like, every week and practice, well, and on top of practice, it's very draining, and it's really easy to get burned out. And like, I was just done with. I was happy to actually be out of the tournament.
Trust me, Xander is also happy too to be out. Not about this run.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think he's.
It's completely.
He's not super mad right now. I mean, I'm sure he's mad, but like not as mad as he could be. He would be if he wasn't burned out.
It's frustration is what it is.
Yeah.
Because the game just won't let you do things sometimes.
So yeah, with I'll continue quickly explaining the trick. He you charge your dash and you use shovel at the same time. And this holds your dash in place without moving. We call it bootstrats. Or shovel strats, depends on who you ask. And then you just re-equip Feather and you do this jump to get to the other side. And then you enter D4. In D4, we didn't get to explain much, but there were there was a Jesus jump to skip half the dungeon. There was a kind of quite an oversight in the developer's part where it's not even a glitch, but it still skips half the dungeon. And then there was like a complex super jump to get to the Nightmare Key. And then there is the boss. And at the bottom of the boss room, you can see the Skull of Cravone. Yeah, we should move audio to SeysEy.
Should switch audio to SeysEy. Have we not had audio on SeysEy? No.
Apparently.
Sorry, I was also moving the screen so then SeysEy would be the only one on stream. So just give me a sec on that.
Xander is indeed mad. Okay. Well, I don't blame him.
Yeah. Like I said, there are certain parts of this run now in Hundo that just make it miserable to run. We brought this up, God, when during one of the matches in quarterfinals.
Yeah, it Hundo or
With
the I think if I was in this position, like if I actually wasn't burned out, I really wanted to like actually really win. I would be furious that happened.
Yeah.
And I kind of was furious in my game because there was a game I had against Glyph where I failed earlier to skip 3 times in a row and lost because of that.
This run has just become very nasty. With the addition of the early stuff. Zorabump, not so bad. Zorabump, fine.
And there's the ghost talking to him because he was on the screen for long.
But
yeah, that's Zorabump. And Zorabump is we do it because of a trick that is well, it's really notorious, especially after today.
Also a terrible trick.
Yeah, it just adds a bunch of RNG to the game. But it also saves a massive amount of time. You can probably notice there's 2 rocks on either side of the water, and that's because you need hook shot to get across. But we need to get the lens earlier so that we can get the boomerang, and we use the boomerang to get the hook shot. And you'll see how that works in D5.
Is that faster to enter the 2D section really quick and jump out of it? But yes, this does mean that SeysEy will move on to finals. We just have to wait and see what his time is. And really, the run's halfway done.
If we already know the finals will be between SeysEy
Bamboo versus SeysEy.
We all thought it was going to be SeysEy and Sagas.
Because why wouldn't it be?
Exactly. But unfortunately, yeah.
I'll say this.
But
had the game cooperated, Xander had a chance. A damn good chance.
But again, it's Hundo, and
the game doesn't like cooperating.
Tricks in general in any game really can just lose you a lot of time.
Yeah, I've gone on record saying that I hate early rooster skip and I hate early hook shot. This today reaffirms that decision.
You also hate Goomba Surf.
Yeah, but that's because Goomba Surf is dumb and I like P-Hat Jump better.
You and I are the opposite. I hate the RNG of Goomba Surf, but I like the trick. I think it's just fun to look at.
I mean, yes, it looks fine when it goes correctly.
Yeah, and if your RNG doesn't lose 40 seconds, which has happened on very good pace before, multiple times.
I didn't think about it. Hold on a second. What? We're not?
All right, we use the ocarina here to get quickly over to near D0. And that's gonna be the next dungeon we enter. That's the color dungeon, for anyone who doesn't understand our speedrun lingo.
I mean, it's not speedrun lingo. It's in the game. It's Dungeon 0 on the map.
Apology. Sorry, I just want to quickly say, I realized why there was no game audio is because I swapped it to B and then removed B, so we were getting audio from no one. So apologies for that. That was me doubling down on a mistake. Oh well.
No, you're good, man. Thank you for your time. Alright, so this is the reason why we finished the ghost side quest, because we need this photo. We can only get it after the ghost side quest is done.
Literally, this one photo is the reason for the ghost side quest.
And it's annoying. But it also allows us to go anywhere near whatchamacallit, the cave with the Goria to go get the boomerang, so.
Oh, there we go. Wow, I didn't know you could actually get it after it clings off the rock. I thought, like, after that you were stuck, you had to, like, push the rock to get it.
Nah.
We pushed the graves, and now we're in D0.
Oh, D0, the dungeon that they tacked onto this game.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll let you explain, my voice is more...
Well, I'm gonna borrow some words that Alpha said a couple of hours ago. So, they literally tacked on this dungeon in such a way that it's, extra space. All of the stuff is stored in game's RAM, I believe. Which means that you have this room right here. It's full of rupees. And later on we're going to be doing a hard reset, which will make all of the rupees in that room respawn. Which is very nice. Gives us a lot of money very quickly, because each one of those rupees is 5 rupees each.
And we use those rupees to get the best stuff.
In opinion. Also, I think this place is mostly laid out like a Zelda 1 dungeon, if I recall.
I wonder if that's why they use Zelda 1 dungeon music. Maybe it's a throwback to the game.
Yeah, because I mean, there are in other dungeons, there's like whole walls that demarcate rooms as opposed to doorways, and almost every single screen in this dungeon is a doorway.
Alright, so we saw the hard reset, and now that means these rupees are back.
Yep.
If we did not hard reset, these rupees would not respawn.
SeysEy gets just enough in the means. Did you just shoot an arrow right while facing left?
That's completely what it looked like. Here is the bingo room. Bingo room is the dumbest room in the level.
Oh boy, is it.
That's why it's the dumbest room. Except you can do that sometimes.
Oh, it's so nice.
That if that happens, it just feels awesome, but it's still a dumb room. It looks so good when you get it right, and then you do it right, but other times, like, you can get bad enemy movement, and it makes it so hard to adapt to it and do it quickly.
Here we have Evil Lord. This is a weird boss. Basically, it goes from green to yellow to red, and once you hit it a couple of times, it's dead. That's it. It's the boss.
Yeah.
Doesn't give you a heart container. Do anything. It just lets you get through.
People expected you to have just use sword on the boss, and not arrows. But yeah, well, speedrunners figured out arrow spam is just the easiest thing and fastest. You can also use magic rock, but we don't get that till later.
Which is a darn shame.
It really is, because if you actually don't use arrows, for whatever reason, arrows make bomb triggers fail. So if you were to use magic rod on the dungeon in the dungeon instead of arrows, you could actually bomb trigger to get the tunic.
Which I think Segs has done math on that. It's not much.
It's only like a second save, but it's still faster.
But just because something is faster doesn't mean you need it. It's that kind of. That got early Rooster Skip and early Hookshot to the point where they are now, and we hate it.
I shouldn't say it's a second faster. It's a second faster over choosing the blue tunic. Because it automatically picks the red tunic for you. You could go back and select the blue one, but you should just pick the red one. It's a little bit faster still. It saves 8 seconds. Xander got really bad luck. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he got messed up by the game doing early Rooster Skip and failed several times.
He got screwed.
Wait, we can swear.
This game
We can swear. He got fucked up by early Rooster Skip. There we go.
Yeah. That's a way better way of putting it.
The game.
I think
really
we can unanimously agree. He got fucked by early Rooster Skip. Much like how Sagas got fucked by early Hookshot.
Yes.
And someone's probably gonna get fucked by Goomba Surf in this run.
Don't say that. Especially not while I'm in the commentary call, because then it might come true.
And plus, there's only one person playing right now. So we know who that player is gonna be.
What's up, SeysEy, please?
He's not on PvP anyway.
Sega's hands. That's what happened.
Yeah, I think, what was it, like his thumb slipped or something?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he missed the button.
Which is like the most painful thing to happen. For me, it's always like accidental diagonals or something. Like, I've lost good runs on Nightmare because I did a diagonal during the blob quick kill. And it completely screwed it up. Like, while moving to go under the blob, I did a diagonal and it just like,
To answer your questions, Andrew, because the game hates you. There you go. End of story. The game hates everybody.
Were you 2 pixels from the edge? So I think that's where you're supposed to end up.
Alright, so now that
That's where I always end up. I'll have to take a look.
now that we have the magnifying lens, we can go get this photograph after doing a barrel roll with this Zora and this dead mouse.
That's another mouse. It's not dead.
It's a dead mouse. Not to be confused with the other dead mouse.
It's just a different dead mouse.
Well, I mean, he doesn't make music. He takes photographs.
Oh, yeah.
Did you forget that there is an actual musician named Dead Mouse for a second?
I did, yeah. I didn't realize you were referring to it. The Armos maze here. Right here. We're getting our last seashell, the 20th seashell. And we need to go through the Armos maze because this is how you get the key to enter D6. Unfortunately, we have to get the key because we can't super swim into the dungeon. But it doesn't really matter because it's 100% and it's an permanent inventory item, so you have to get it anyway. Is he gonna be doing? He's doing arrow strats. Okay, this is fun to watch. Just unleash arrows, thousands and thousands of arrows. Super easy to do too.
My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. I'd rather see the strats.
Strats are good too. They look awesome, but they're slower.
On we go, moving swiftly to D6.
Oof, menuing trouble there. It's easy to rush through your menus when you're trying to do things as fast as possible.
Yeah. And he
Relax,
falls!
taking another victim.
Well, it's not taking another victim until he dies. It just nipped him. It bit his toe
Wait.
or something.
Whoa, hang on a second. Zorlax died in the pit?
I'm pretty sure Zorlax died in the pit. Node also died in his pit.
Huh. I think I've died in the Zorlax pit once, and that was like my beginner stage of the game.
I'll say I've died in Node pit because I had half a heart going into that room.
Got a reason. There's a slight faster optimization that he found for that room recently.
Yep. Just swing for the fences. Maybe the Moldorm will move up. Now we have the level 2 bracelet. It's good for one thing and one thing only, and that's allowing you to pick up those elephant statues.
Yeah, no joke. That's the only thing we need it for.
It also technically makes you pick up stuff a little bit faster.
Who cares about that?
People who have an innate desire for speed.
So all of us. We all care about it. Oh, he's throwing the bomb. Is this the new strat? That makes sense. Doing it a little different way of getting that. Doing it with a spin slash. So those series of super jumps are allowing us to do the dungeon backwards now. And this is a shack jump. Maybe you can explain the shack jump.
Yeah, you basically sidle up next to an interactable object, like a rock or a key block, and then you can make it super jump off of it. It's weird, but it looks very nice.
Apparently it was the first super jump that was found, I think.
Yeah, I'd buy it. Two, three, four.
Not too bad.
Not horrible. So it's a 25% chance that you get those up.
His menu is... yeah.
You know, Spice has a point. Getting knocked back by Deathflow and doing the super jump there might have been discovered first.
Well, I don't know what the super jump is. I would need to see a clip.
So what happens is you get knocked away by the arms while you're doing the arrow stuff, and you literally just do a naked super jump in the air.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I think that's happened to me before. Yeah, if you are pressing forward when you get knocked back into the wall, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's happened.
And that's D6 done.
Oh, he's gonna throw. He's not gonna go for the rainbow fart.
I mean, throwing is good too. Look at all these 3-pointers that he's making. Actually, no. It'd be 2 because that's what a slam dunk is, isn't it?
Yeah. Although he's not really slam dunking it. And he's not even shooting it in the first
He's
place.
on the hoop, and he's dropping it into the hoop, picking it up, dropping it into the hoop, picking it up, dropping it into the hoop, picking it up. This isn't regulation NBA, sadly. Bit of a messy menu there.
now that we've got all the seashells, we get the sword. The awesome sword, or I call it the laser sword, and you'll see why sometime. Depends how long he stays at full health and uses it. Because we kind of have better items than the sword. The only time we actually use sword is if you have to use sword. It's never the first choice.
How dare you? The sword is amazing.
I wish. I wish it was.
What do you mean you wish it was?
Even the level 2 sword is still not as good as arrows. Say hi to the mermaid.
No, this is a tournament match. Unfortunately, the other participant in this tournament match forfeited because he got royally screwed by the game. So now we're making sure that SeysEy here finishes his run so we can officially put him into finals.
Okay, this is why we got the lens earlier on and got the boomerang. So we're doing early hook shot, and this allows us to skip having to fight all of the Master Stalfos, except for the first one, which we have to fight only because we need to get through the room. So he's killing all the enemies, pushing these blocks, he's gonna make the key spawn and line himself up in a specific pixel. Then he's jumping and using boomerang at the same time, and it's gonna pull the key into that room. And that changes the key into the boomerang about half the time. And this is where the RNG comes in, because it's a 50-50 trick, basically.
So this trick is part of why the bracket is the way it is right now, because last run, which was a couple of hours ago, one of our runners failed that trick 6 times, and then on the 6th failure, he accidentally jumped and grabbed the key. If you grab the key, you're done. You have to go do Dungeon 5 the way we used to do it, which is going around and fighting Master Stalfos 4 times in order to get the hook shot.
Which is really slow.
Oh, it's incredible.
It still saves less time than what Villa Skip saves.
Unless you saved and quit at the start of D5, which just means that you can hard reset and try it again. But by that point, you've lost a lot of time. So now, because we have the hook shot early, this dumb jump is now fairly easy.
That jump is terrible without the hook shot. Because
It's
you
not
have to
that
dash
bad.
across this gigantic pit.
You're not dashing across the pit. You're dashing on one tile. You're dashing on one tile, and then you jump at the very end of it.
Yeah, that's why it's dumb.
And that's dumb. He just fell while hookshotting. And now we're just going to clip through this little space here because, dungeon design.
Because this is a well-programmed game.
It is actually a well-programmed game. The thing is that placement of objects was not well thought out. Because you're able to hookshot the pot and pull yourself through.
Yeah, something like you hook shot and it pulls you to, like, it pulls. The game thinks you're on the other side somehow or something like that.
Oh,
And
pulling
so
you
you end up-
towards the object. And it's in that case it's the pot.
like that. Clean eel.
As long as he
Alright.
doesn't combo back to the beginning of the dungeon, he's good.
Shadows
And
of
he's
Olympus.
good. Sorry.
Well, now we're going into enter D7. So there were a couple things we were foreshadowing earlier. I mentioned the heart piece bomb trigger that I absolutely love, and then there's Rooster Skip, and then upcoming is D7 itself, and you're going to see some really funny things in D7. I think it would be hilarious if you forgot to equip and accidentally used Dr. again.
That'd be atrocious. Why would you wish that upon somebody?
Because it would be funny. Because it's not me.
Why do you laugh at other people's misfortune? Why do you have to be a terrible person's intro? I see my co-commentator has gone silent at this accusation. Or his computer's disconnected.
Because you were correct.
He knows what he is, and yet does not change himself for the better.
There you go. That heart piece is in a whole different cave. And yet, through the power of bomb triggers, we were able to get it.
The goddess of explosion smiles upon us in this run.
So now he is going back to here. And the reason early hookshot, not early hookshot, early rooster skip even saves time at all, is because you're in the area already. However, the trick itself is slower than the way SeysEy is about to do it. He's going to be doing hookshot jumping. There's one frame. Ooh, is he going to get it? No. Okay, he's going to buffer it. He realizes he's a little bit late there. You can do it unbuffered, and it's literally frame per anyway. This is terrible. Yeah, there's one frame when the hookshot fully retracts that you can jump. And this allows you to get across the pit. And it's a lot faster than early hookshot to do, but it's also more out of the way. So if you don't have to do a million pit buffers for early hookshot or early rooster skip, rooster skip, and it's faster.
Yeah. Granted, the way he's trying to do it is not easy. It requires you pressing pretty much the two buttons on a single frame. Because if you fail the jump, then you just want to be hookshotting anyways. Oh my goodness.
I wonder if he's aware that...
he knows.
He is?
He's aware.
That's probably why he's just gonna keep trying, because he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah. His quip was, "Why are people always forfeiting against me?" It's because you're intimidating, SeysEy.
There you go, there it is.
Yeah, let's just do rooster skip. Done. Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Rooster skip, just in general, all of the rooster skips except for rooster skip
and rooster skip
out of bounds is terrible.
Rooster skip is nice. Because then
it's so long though.
Oh, cry me a river about it being long. It's shorter than the ghost cutscene.
That's still long. That ghost cutscene always feels like an eternity for me.
It is an eternity. You're literally waiting for somebody to pass through whatever is on the other side of Koholint Island's afterlife, so that way you can come back and take a photo with you.
And here's D7. This is probably the funniest dungeon in the game because of bomb triggers.
So in this
once again,
you have to take around a giant steel wrecking ball and throw it at walls. But we're modern people, right?
Yeah, we use balls as fuses.
Yeah, we use explosive devices, prime charges, specifically designed to demolish buildings. And by that, I just mean we slap some bombs on the problem. It didn't. He wasn't close enough.
Just barely too.
Yeah.
That is something that just happens.
Cast it into the pit.
But he's realizing he needs to hit the switch.
Yeah. There we go.
Alright, so we just ignore that ball. We're supposed to use it on the pillars, but guess what? Bomb triggers!
He menued the frame that started.
You can also bomb trigger into pits.
Yep. If he had fallen, I swear. And there we go. Now, this tower is no longer structurally sound. It's disturbing. It shouldn't be like this. It's an affront to mankind.
4 pillars are holding it up, and there's a ball to knock them down. Like, who does that?
Look, explosives are wonderful black magic, and I'll accept them all the time. The goddess of explosion smiles upon us all, not Mega Mean Spice.
And this is Goomba Surf now. First try, and not making it quite far enough, but he can just dash across.
Yep.
So he was 1 pixel clipped into that wall, and that allows you to do a naked super jump in the first place. And then you just do a naked super jump onto the Goomba, and that lands you onto the wall high enough that you can actually get over it.
Wait, it's literally the goddess of explosions. That is their name. Bunch of anime watching generates. Oh my god! Go play some Ludosity games, both of you. Alright, so that's D7 done. Now, we've got one more dungeon to do, and then we're heading on to the egg.
In case anyone maybe didn't notice, we are an hour into the run, and that's where all the RNG is.
It's awful. Literally, the RNG starts at 59 minutes in.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop.
Just imagine, like, you're on fantastic pace, you're like a minute ahead of PB, and then you have to go through the RNG gauntlet.
Granted, there is also early rooster skip, which is 30 minutes. God, ZSR staff is just attacking me today. I swear. I feel insulted, abused. I feel like Marin, I just left alone on top of a mountain because she doesn't deserve to be saved.
She doesn't deserve to be saved because Terran and the Owl exist. Yeah, so that cutscene, we skip by just staying on the bottom of the screen and jumping over. Or you can also do a thing called Zoomerang. I'm not even going to explain how that works.
No, it's easy. You dash towards an object, you jump and hold the direction towards it, and then away from it as you throw your boomerang, and it launches you into the wall.
Sure. It allows you to move really fast with the boomerang. Anyway, so if we did not skip that cutscene, you have to talk to Marin for a long time, and then you have to talk to Terran. And then, if that's not bad enough, the Owl shows up. And then you can finally move on. And even with the Japanese text, which is the fastest text, it's like 45 seconds long. It is... yeah, it's a reset if you talk to her.
While we're
Go
talking about RNG screwing people, that reminds me of the Persona 3 speedrun back before they did the last day skip, where like 15 or 16 hours into the run, you just wiped at Nick's avatar and that was it. There was just a chance that the boss could go nuclear. Speaking of things getting very hot very quickly, D8 is apparently in a volcano.
Well, it's a turtle,
So we're in its stomach?
I guess. Its stomach is lava.
Then how did the ice
It
get
may actually be acid, not lava. Maybe that's what the magic rod's made of. It's made of acid.
So that means Hothead is just acid reflux?
He might be.
We've solved it.
It just might be. All this time, all he needed was some Tums.
Dum 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 dum. Oh my god, does this mean that Fire is like those Osmosis Jones viruses?
Possibly. Here's Lava Swim. If you slash your sword when you're transitioning into lava, you can just swim in it. Yeah,
Alright.
I have no explanation for why.
We gotta call it Acid Swim now? Sorry.
From now on, it is called Acid Swim.
Oh wait, this means Oddball is an ulcer. Oh god. The Roomba is a platelet dropper.
There's a whole bunch of different ways that people do this room, and they're pretty much the same amount of time. Essentially, maybe like the differences are probably like half a second at most.
It all depends on what you're doing to get to where you're supposed to be.
Some players will dash across, like you can keep your dash even after doing an initial jump.
Yeah.
But some people, for example, like SeysEy here, he just does a series of jumps, which is harder in my opinion.
Oh, we need to
I don't
give Link a better hat, Spice.
Boss spawning way too low to even take damage in the first place. There are certain areas of this room where the boss cannot take damage. Otherwise, not a terrible hothead.
Yeah.
We refer to every time he falls in the lava as a cycle. So that was a 2-6.
Alright, SeysEy saving time there. Those are some splits you're comparing against, SeysEy.
Is that his like first run ever or something?
Possibly. I saw 136 was the time on that. He's not comparing against me, thank God.
Well, my very first run ever was over 2 hours. But this was my very first speed run. Was this category of this game?
You're insane. Why
I
would
wanted
you...
to do 100. I like completion category.
Any percent is completion, you just don't complete everything.
No. Full completion.
Oh no, he's comparing against Seabass's PP. The 136 something.
So basically showing that was just a jab at Seabass.
Look, we got our wish. Seabass came back. Alright, we should shut up.
I'll explain after. Alright, I still want to see Seabass do Rooster skip, 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 skip.
Hold on, skip, 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 skip. How does that work?
Just 4. So it's getting the Rooster and then doing Rooster skip.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is the egg. The egg normally should be randomized, and you see what the pattern is in the library book that you can't read without the magnifying lens. But there's a default path: left, 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 right, right, up, left, up.
Yeah.
No. Rooster skip, skip, skip is just going across with the rooster. Rooster skip, 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 skip is doing rooster skip with the rooster.
And then, of course, there's Rooster skip, 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 which is doing Rooster skip, skip with the Rooster.
This is all high-level gameplay. Speaking of high-level gameplay,
I can admit, you already saw the blob quick kill. He holds up the sword and then places a bomb, and that kills the blob for some reason.
after doing
Then he uses powder.
after doing a bomb trigger to start this fight early.
Yeah, which is the final bomb trigger of the game. It skips the text and even allows us to do this stuff in the first place because it removes the music. And believe it or not, music affects RNG of this game. So he positioned himself in very precise places so that he would always get energy balls instead of a blue ball, which is just the ones you can't reflect back. Just like that, he kills Moldarm, he stun locks him, and now he's doing Death Eye skip, where he's going to play the ocarina on the same frame that one of the keys, the flame keys, are released toward him. And that freezes it in place, and then for some reason the game thinks that the keys is Death Eye after you kill the Shadow Mola. But the thing is, the Keese doesn't have any health, so it just immediately dies, and the game thinks, oh, Death Eye's dead, and spawns the staircase. Thus skipping the final phase of the boss.
SeysEy, of course, finishing with a time of 1:20:35 according to SRL.
GG.
GG indeed.
Look at how much time save he had between D8 and
some hard work.
Yeah, apparently his D8 and final split were really bad. Hello.
Hey, SeysEy, how are you?
Sure.
How do you feel about that run?
That was trash. Yeah, everything was pretty bad. I can just go with D4. That's one good thing. Yeah, seeing Xander forfeiting kind of. I didn't want to run. Like when I saw Xander, I just wanted to just not finish the run. But okay, I
kind of have to finish it, even though he did forfeit. Speaking of that, Xander, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm bad.
Your mic is also
GG.
buzzing.
What is my mic?
Your mic is buzzing.
It's buzzing? Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have a bee trapped in your mic?
Hortus have been really active lately.
Is this better?
Slightly.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do anything about it then. You'll have to live with it. Unless it's really bad.
Just like the results of this tournament.
It's not that bad anymore.
Okay.
It was bad before. So, early rooster skip.
Earlier skip. See, the thing is, I did everything the same as I usually did, and then it put me like 3 pixels farther to the right for whatever reason, and then I couldn't make the jump anymore, and then I got tilted and I fell 3 more times, and it was like, no, fuck this.
Yep, and that's Xander's story. SeysEy. And rooster skip.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's. I don't know what's happening with Rooster Skip. I keep failing it most time. I had to buffer it in my PB that I got earlier too. And I didn't want to buffer this one. I just wanted to cut it. So that's why I failed several times. But I don't know what's happening. Like in practice, I'm pretty consistent. Like I'm getting 80-90% of the time. But yeah, every time I'm doing a run, I can't get it somehow.
So, other than that, there wasn't any really major loss except for, of course, early hook shot, but
What about D7?
yeah, we don't talk about D7.
So yeah, that was fun.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, but I wasn't even playing anymore at that time. My mind was out of my head.
Nah, it's fine. It's been a series of pretty bad runs today.
Yeah.
through no results of the runners.
It's sad because I was actually on a pretty good run until
Oh, you
ERS.
looked like you were going to PB until that
Yeah.
happened.
hmm
But hey, SeysEy, at least you got a gold in D4, right?
Yeah, that's the only good thing that happened tonight.
Just like
I'm pretty
Sagan,
happy
you
with-
got one gold. That's
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that gold in D4. It wasn't perfect, but was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least there is something in that run that wasn't trash.
So, once again, can't believe I'm going to say this. Sander, you're out of the tournament now. How do you feel about the tournament in general?
Freedom. That's how I
Finally.
feel.
SeysEy, you've got to fight Bamboo next. How do you feel?
I don't know. It will be my revenge because I lost to him in Swiss round. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm the favorite versus Bamboo. And everything can happen. Like if I got runs like that with 120, I can lose easily. So
Yeah.
we'll see, I guess.
So, that's all I got. You got anything, Zentro?
All I gotta say is GG. I mean, this day has been crazy.
Look how they're at, my boys.
The game hates everyone.
Yes.
It does.
Yes, it does.
I was saying during the race, like just how taxing it was, and how burnt out I think most players are of it now.
The same
Yeah.
thing happened last time we had a Hundo tourney as well.
It happens every time because we plan the tournament 2 months in advance, then everyone starts running, and then when it actually starts, everyone is burned out.
It takes time to set up the
I
tournament.
know
though.
that, but it's still something that happens.
Is it possible to reduce the wait time by like a month?
Eh. Eh.
I'm just saying, 2 month advance is a lot of time.
It wasn't actually 2 months. It was like a month and a week.
Yeah, it was something like that, but
We
Yeah.
left
Oh.
registration open for a month, and that was what's getting people, because we decided on having a Hundo tournament, and then everyone started running Hundo. Then we got everything set up for the tournament.
I mean, that
That's why I
sounds like a
started
you
running
issue.
it after the start of the tournament, so I'm not burned out yet.
I blame the dailies.
That's the strat.
So you're blaming Zentro, is what you're saying. Good job.
I'm blaming Cliff.
For winning
I'll blame
last
Xander. I'm happy about this. I'll blame Xander for this.
This whole tournament is my fault, you're right.
Yeah, you started it. I had to start what you set in motion.
Yep.
But other than that, that's all I got. That's all we all got. Next week, sometime in the coming week, you've got SeysEy versus Bamboo in a death match to win the tournament. I'm pretty sure it's going to be best of one, because I'm not sure we could endure 4.5 hours of Hundo.
Well, we've split it up the last couple tournaments too, right? The
It's all-
races.
I think Warpless was done in one sitting, and I
Oh.
don't know about.
No, it was a best of 3.
No, I mean, like, they did the races for Warpless in one stream,
Oh yeah, we did.
and I don't remember Hundo. Only if you do the race, Ryan. You have to join for all 7 races.
I think 2 years ago in the last Under tournament, there was a loser bracket, so the one that win the winner bracket was 1-0 already. So it was at most 2 races. So I think it was in one
We'll figure this out. There's time.
Yeah.
Hey, Void, what's going on ZSR?
Stuff.
All right.
No, but I'm assuming that's my cue to wrap up, so I will. Thank you to our two commentators today. Phantom, who did two back-to-back. Oh, wait, it was only two. Back-to-back. We got thank you, Zintro, for also stepping in for this race. Thank you to our two runners today. Unfortunately, although RNG did not go in your favour, Xander, still thank you for running for today's race. It was still very enjoyable, nonetheless. And
thank you for restreaming, Void. I appreciate it. And all of you guys at ZSR. Even though you all hate me, apparently.
No, we don't hate you. It's just, it's hard not to poke something which is easy to poke.
All right, Alpha 5, whatever you say.
Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to throw things over to ZSR2 where they're having the Minish Cap Rando still. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. See you guys later. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
So long.